So I guess so. The education system in this country needs to be overhauled. I am in agreement with you, Unc. All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. What's the next? Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. All right, hold on. Hold on. We got one for y'all. We got one for y'all. Hold on. Hold on. Where are we gonna go with it? All right. No, we're not gonna go there yet. Brace yourself. Brace yourself. I'm just gonna ask you once, brace yourself. This is the face that I had. This man right here, that's the face that I had watching this video. Like,
oh my God.
So I guess so. The education system in this country needs to be overhauled. I am in agreement with you, Unc. All right, let's keep it going. Let's keep it going. What's the next? Oh man. Oh man. Oh man. All right, hold on. Hold on. We got one for y'all. We got one for y'all. Hold on. Hold on. Where are we gonna go with it? All right. No, we're not gonna go there yet. Brace yourself. Brace yourself. I'm just gonna ask you once, brace yourself. This is the face that I had. This man right here, that's the face that I had watching this video. Like, y'all check it out.
I hate when people talk about Black women being obese. I hate it because it becomes a way to blame us for a set of conditions that we didn't create.
It's only 29 seconds. Let me start it over. I shouldn't have stopped it, but damn. Let me start it over and I'll play the full video. I promise you I will not interrupt.
I hate when people talk about Black women being obese. I hate it because it becomes a way to blame us for a set of conditions that we didn't create. We are living in the Trump era. And look, those policies kill our people. And what public health practitioners think is that our stress responses in the body change our metabolism. It's literally that the racism that you're experiencing and the struggle to make ends meet actually means the diet don't work for you the same. I hate when people talk.
Well, I can't help but say it. These are the people that are leading our families. These are the people that are leading our families. Zero accountability. We're blaming Trump policies for the reason you're obese, ma'am. Look, I don't know, but from the looks of it, I can say pretty confidently that you probably struggled with obesity long before Donald Trump was in office and his policies impacted you. But these are the people that are running our households, raising our young men. Perhaps, and we know that it's common to hear a lot of women say, "Oh, I don't need no man." But what do men provide? Leadership, guidance, structure, accountability, discipline. Did you hear any of those things listening to her speak? It's the blame game. This is not just about obesity. This is life. This is life. I hear entitlement in her voice. Oh, this is not my fault. This is I deserve to have policies that are changed, so therefore I'm not obese. Like, you should change their policies. This is overwhelming. I feel like we have a racist president. That's why I'm obese. This is the mindset. This is the mindset. Train said, "Come on now." And that makes you put sugar in rice. She sounds ridiculous, yo. The true question is, what can we do to change these people's minds and include them into a positive future? That's the true question, nephew. Well, according to Frederick Douglass, Unc, nothing. Nothing. What did Frederick Douglass say? What's the quote? I don't want to misquote him, but he says something along the lines of, it's easier to build strong boys, then change a strong. What did Frederick Douglass? Let me get the exact quote. Hold up, man. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Frederick Douglass. It's easier to raise strong boys. What's the quote? Hold on. We got to get our quotes right. So he said it's easier to build strong children than to repair broke men. It's easier to build strong children than to repair broken women. I guess, equal opportunities, right? Here, feminist movement with what applies for the men. We can insert the women as well. I'm not sure if there's anything that can be done. I'm not sure if there's anything that can be done to adjust the mindset of this particular woman right here. I'm not sure. I think that there needs to be more shaming. I think there needs to be all the things that hold on. All the things that we are hesitant to do and say, that's what needs to be done. And I just saw this picture. Hold up, man. I got to see this. I got to show y'all this picture of Lizzo the other day. Looking good, looking healthy. I don't know. She was showing pictures working out. I don't know if, matter of fact, I can't find the picture. I think it was on Instagram or something. But I remember when Lizzo was working out, her fans were mad at her for losing weight. So I don't know if you can repair the minds of people like this. I don't know if you can repair the minds of, you get a group of women sitting in a room and clapping for a lady blaming Trump for her obesity. I don't know. I'm sure there's a 6-year-old boy that remembers her being just as big 30 years ago. Hold on now. You only talking about some good men. What you mean? I've seen some men just take a family, do some serious changes. People don't change. People don't change. That's the general rule. What you're doing is you're applying exceptions and looking at it as if it's the rule. People don't change. That is why when you think about in 3rd grade, 4th grade, 5th grade, high school, think about the kids that weren't doing well then. Think about where the kids are. They just picture in your mind somebody in 3rd, 4th grade, middle school, it doesn't matter, high school, and just think about where they are now. Is it a surprise? See, perhaps maybe when we do these superlatives in the yearbook, see, we tend to focus on the positive ones, right? Class clown, best smile, most likely to be successful, most likely to go play pro sports, all these different, we tend all around, senior, we tend to focus on the positive ones. But imagine if we started focusing on some of the negative ones. Most likely to get locked up, most likely to, right? Most people do not change. It just is what it is. It is the hardest thing to do. This is why relationships, in my opinion, are so hard. People don't want to change. Matter of fact, this is why I say that sports is so critical. I say sports is so critical because sports, it's a unique experience because you grow accustomed to being constructively criticized. You actually are forced to change with sports, or you won't play, or you won't be successful, or you won't earn a scholarship, or you won't make the league, all these different things. You have to change. If you don't play sports growing up, change for what? You don't even know how to change. You don't even know how to respond to criticism well. So I think that the majority of people don't change. And Train said it best. They have to want to change. And living in a society where the society tells you, oh, no, you're good just the way you are, and gives you excuses and then gives you a sense of entitlement and allows you to play victim and say, oh, I'm big because Donald Trump. This is just a microcosm that we see in plenty of other areas with people that don't want to change. You can apply this same logic to a bunch of different areas. There's a lot of people that think that they're not millionaires because Donald Trump and white supremacists in America hold them back from being millionaires. There's a lot of people that have that mindset that they're not successful because of a politician, because of this, because of society, because the Democrats and liberals told you that you're still oppressed from slavery. There's a lot of people that embrace that mindset because it's easier for them to embrace that mindset than for them to put full accountability and responsibility and onus on themselves and to do what's necessary to overcome the challenges that may or may not be there. A lot of challenges we just put in our minds just to convince ourselves to not even try something. But to each their own. To each their own. Not to say women don't play those games also. Sometimes you just have to let the weeds grow in the garden. I guess so. She don't want to change. Change means she has to take responsibility for her actions, 100%. I think poor Americans struggle to make sustainable, healthy food. I think poor Americans struggle to make sustainable. That's definitely a fact. SB, you are 100% right. But you know what poor Americans don't struggle to do? To buy the newest J's, to look fresh as hell going to school, to spend money on all the things to impress. What is that saying? People spend money to impress people that don't care. You know the saying I'm talking about. People pick and choose what they spend money on, period. People pick and choose. Is it going to be harder to maybe go and find a better grocery store? You may have to go to the next town. You may have to do this. Yeah, but people got no problem going to the next town or to the city to stand online and get the new pair of Jordans. People got no problem standing online for a goofy video game. People have no problem prioritizing the things that they want to prioritize. But the thing that is most important to us, what should be most important to us, our health, we put on the back burner. Okay, you're gonna eat. You know that. Matter of fact, you know that you're in a food desert. Let's say you're not eating healthy foods. Okay, did you get an extra workout in maybe to offset that? Are you doing certain? There's always a way. There's always a way, in my opinion. But that's just me. Good grass will still grow in a field full of weeds. Unc giving us the game. Not sure what's going on, nephew. Y'all shaming black women. If anything, help her. Vons, this is what you're missing. You, the person who, let me give y'all an example. Let me give y'all an example of what happens. Vons, I told you I was going to share this. So for everybody else who calls me after the show and says, you're being hard on Vons. Vons and I are good. We talk about this and I told him that I was going to say this. Vons says that I'm shaming black women. If anything, help her. Vons the other day when we talked about the statue, when we talked about the statue and obesity, Vaughn said, well, what's wrong with liking thick women? Even though we clearly were talking about obese, with the average black woman in America weighing 186 pounds, I believe either heavier or just as heavy as the average man. Definitely around the same weight. The only group of people where the women are so much more obese compared to the men. Overwhelmingly more compared to the men. And I spoke to Vons after the show because Vons was just more supporting saying, oh, there's nothing wrong with being big and people just, and then I get on the phone with Vons. And I told Vons, like I said, I was gonna have this combo on here. And you know what Vons said to me? Without getting too particular, he said, yeah, I've had those challenges too, where you tell people, that they should be working out and losing weight, but then because society tells them that it's okay for them to be big, it becomes a tough, I can't convince them that they should lose weight. And I'm like, Vons, why didn't you say that on the show? That was exactly what I was saying on the show. And to your point right now, you're doing it again, Vons. See, what you don't understand, shaming may be the only thing left that we have. We've tried to celebrate them. We've tried to help. We've tried to do all these different things. But sometimes being shamed, that's what controls your mindset the most. Because sometimes you need to be embarrassed. Have you never played sports, Vons? Have you never been put in a position where by coach or once you see it on film, you can keep making that same mistake? It's different when you get trucked and it's not on TV. or it's not on film. But then when you got it on film, it's a little bit different. Everybody can see it. You become embarrassed, and you don't want that situation to ever occur again. That's what drives you. So you sitting here celebrating black women, excusing black women for their bad behavior. This is bad, unhealthy behavior. Let's just call it what it is. That's more of the problem. But in the society that we live in, this is just another microcosm where here we have the guy that I talked to on the phone that acknowledged that women's obesity is a problem and that society condoning a lot of the obesity amongst women is a problem. But then when he gets on a show, he's going to sit here and say, y'all shaming black women. And that's what happens across the board in our country, in our relationships. See, we get upset at the guy that calls stuff out the way it is because we have so many other men that pander to women. So many other men that'll just say, oh, no, you're fine just the way you are, baby. You're good. Even though those women have absolutely no problem shaming men, have no problem calling men out. You're broke. You ain't ish.
Ew. Sorry to interrupt the video. We got a new challenge. 20,000 by the end of April. We fell short in March, but we're gonna get our goal this month. Thank you all in advance for those that are gonna continue to like, subscribe, maybe even leave some comments and let us know how we're doing. And on that note, let me let y'all get back to the video and I'll see y'all soon. Ew.
They have no problem calling men out, right? But then we got Von's got to put his cape on and feel as if he's got to play Captain Save 'em and stand up for all women. So then the women, they see Von's and they're like, oh, see, Von's is standing up for us. We're not wrong. It's those other mean guys that are telling us that we need to lose weight. It's them. They're the ones that are shaming us. They're wrong. This is what happens. This is why the Democratic Party has the leadership that it has today. This is why Trump won. This is why young men are no longer voting Democrat, because of this mindset, allowing women to control the minds of men and us not standing up as men, supposed to be the leaders, but instead just going along, get along, because women control us with what they have between their legs. So we'll do and say anything just to make sure women are happy because we think that we have a greater likelihood of getting our desired goal if we're just keeping it real. Ant wrote, and they chastise her for losing the weight. The world is backwards. That's a fact. Vons is not really following the story. I don't know what he's missing. The connection is not there. When I talked to you on the phone, you said the same thing, but now you're on here feeling the need to stand up for all black women. Stop that, bro. It's hurting black women. That's who it's really hurting. And bro, facts. They struggle because they don't have healthy lifestyles. Exercise ain't got nothing to do with economic status. Thank you. All these damn excuses, bro. All these damn excuses. Like, yo, do y'all realize we can make an excuse for anything? Any challenge that we can make an excuse for failing or not trying at anything. There's a valid excuse out there. We can find one. This woman is not accountable. I agree. Steve, stand on business. LOL. You don't agree with him. See what happens? You see what happens? You see what happens here? Now Vons is trying to convince Steve. See? It's free to walk, run, do push-ups, sit-ups, etc. Facts. Part of the problem is we moved away from a community-based generational set of circumstances within a community, and now some people that live right next door to you may never know. Yo, y'all coming up with God, can't you just work out? Can't you just go run? Can't you just not eat all that terrible stuff that you know you shouldn't be eating? Can't you get a smoothie instead of opening up the bag of chips? Like, can't we why do we have to, like, God damn, why do we have to overcomplicate these things? Like, why does it always have to be, well, part of it is because it is a part of it. No, you're obese it could be because of all the other influences and stuff. It's because you don't work out and you eat like ish. You eat bad and you don't work out. That's why you're obese. Period. People say, oh, well, I have a condition that slows down my metabolism. Well, eat less. Work out more then. Adapt, right? We're humans. We can adapt to situations. Hold on. A lazy man or a lazy woman does not think positive for themselves. It's easier to be part of the crowd than to make a positive decision for yourself is what I'm saying. That's the repair that we had. I get it, Unc. I get it, Unc. I get it, Unc. One does what one is motivated to do. That's a fact. Von's trolling. Yo, I'm going to be honest. I told y'all before, if I thought Von's was trolling, I wouldn't like do the back and forth. I'm telling you right now, Von's is not trolling. Von's really believes this. And Von's and I had, and I'll be totally honest. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real because I think this is serious business. When you're surrounded by women, you start to think like women. You start to want to protect women. This is something that I thought about the other day when I realized that when I talk about single parent households, when I talk about single parent households, I realize that even though what I'm saying may be factually true, and this was mostly single parent households led by women, even though what I'm saying may be factually true, and even though when I have a conversation with that person that grew up in that single parent household will acknowledge the shortcomings or the challenges that were created by that situation, even though they will acknowledge all those things, you know their first priority? It's protecting their loved ones. So immediately when I talk about single parent households, especially led by a woman, because that's my mama, immediately the first response is to defend our mother's actions. Immediately the first response is to say, no, my mother loves me, so she would never put me in a situation that is not conducive for me to be successful compared to the rest. This is what happens. So it's no different in this situation when I'm saying when you're raised by women, you start to think like the woman. You start to want to protect those women. You start to want to protect your loved ones, to just bring up different rationalizations and justifications of why things are the way that they are. And it's the same thing that I said on the other show. We try so hard to justify our past that it ends up misleading us into the future. All these things Von's is saying, it's going to mislead us into the future because he's trying to justify and protect certain things on his end. I don't know exactly what they are, but this is just my opinion. But that's not the black or white issue. White families, black families, Hispanic, Asian families, all people are the same in nature. But that's not the black or white issue. There's white families, black families, Hispanic families, Asian. Do I need to bring up the chart again? Did you not see Asian obesity was at 17%, while I think black women's obesity was at 66? What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Hold on. Let me try to, I know I'm going to miss a few. Hold on.
It's Dak. Just want to thank you for checking out our video and visiting the OG Network. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure that you give us a like. And if you're looking to join a community of inspired individuals striving for purposeful abundance, subscribe. And if you're feeling real generous, share the video with some friends and family. All right, I'll see y'all soon. Ew.